Welcome to The Problematic Gaze with me, Dr. Lee Arnott.
And me, Dave Moore.
Each week we take a piece of pop culture from yesteryear and ask ourselves the questions, is it problematic? Could you get away with it today? And if not, why not? And what does that say about society and culture then and now?
And before we take a deep dive into our chosen topic, we'll look at the news events of the day. We'll also look at the TV landscape and we'll look at the pop charts, just to put our chosen topic into context.
Well, hello gazers. Here we are in one of the boardrooms of PG Towers because David has come up to the London.
I've come up to that there, London.
Yeah, because it's on Oscars Day, isn't it? We're going to go to the Independent Podcast Awards later. By the time this episode comes out, you will know if we've got faces like scalped arses or if we're giddy as kippers.
Yes, because we're recording this in advance and we're taking advantage of our downtime before the awards, we thought we'd record a little podcast for you. So hence why I'm at PG Towers for a change rather than being at PG Manor up in the country. Yes, came down to London today. Oh, isn't it busy in London?
Oh, it is, love, it is.
I kept my mobile phone firmly in my pocket. Lawless London.
Were you all right? I mean, you didn't get mugged or anything, did you?
I was kind of walking around going, please don't mug me, please don't mug me. I mean, obviously, I'm an honorary Londoner because I lived in London for nigh on 15 years. Not much has changed. Still wonderful as ever. We were talking, weren't we, about the allure of London and the shine of London. When you live here, does the shine rub off eventually? Who was that?
I don't know.
We've got some gremlins in our system at the moment.
Oh, that's what you thought, apparently.
Is that Siri?
It must be Siri. What do you want, Siri? Stop it. Why are you even getting involved? Shut up. I don't understand why you're there.
Is that your virtual boyfriend?
Shush, David. Shush, Siri.
We'll go on to talk about virtual boyfriends. But yes, we were talking about when the shine goes off, when you live in London, you know. And we kind of both agreed, really, that the shine doesn't go off. No. You know, once you explore a new place, like today we went to Battersea. I'd never been to Battersea before. And it was just nice to explore a different area of London.
Yeah.
We weren't mugged. We weren't accosted by immigrants, as you would believe.
If you listen to certain twats on the telly, then yes. Or social media, yes.
Exactly. And it was just wonderful. It was a nice day and it was busy. You know, I live in the country now where you barely see a soul walking past your window. To go from that to it being fairly busy, it was nice. It just kind of reminded me of when I used to live in London, and everywhere you went, it was hustle and bustle and it was exciting. I mean, the thing about living in London is that people assume like you go to Soho and Leicester Square every day, but you live in the leafy area of South London and I lived in a leafy area of North London. You rarely go into the centre, but so when you do, it's still a bit of a buzz.
Of course it is, yeah.
My favourite area of London is on the train, driving out. I'm not driving the train, but as you're travelling out on the train through the London Bridge area, because you see all the modernity, you're kind of high up, you look down on Suffolk Cathedral and Borough Market, and there's all the tall buildings as well, the more modern buildings. It just epitomises London to me, the old versus the new. You're going to burp?
I'm doing it. Windy pops.
Silent burp.
Windy pops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you can tell you don't get much London much these days, can you? Yeah. Not shut up about it, honestly.
Oh, all the streets still paved with gold for me. Anyway, sorry, can I deviate?
I thought you just had. Go on, what now?
Talking about virtual boyfriends, do you get inundated with ads on Facebook?
For virtual boyfriends?
Virtual boyfriends.
Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, I can get why they're a thing, because I used ChatGPT to help me with something recently, and every time it would go, you're doing really well. You're doing ever so well. I get like a little, thanks very much, chat. Thanks.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah, it does affirm things, doesn't it?
It does, and of course that gives you a little dopamine hit, which makes you love it, you know. So I totally understand why people are drawn into it. I have heard, apparently there was a company that had a load of people had their AI partners or whatever, and then they changed the software, and so these AI boyfriends or girlfriends became really distant, and a little bit started to ghost them almost overnight. It was like, that's why you don't want it. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, they look gorgeous as well. Some of the pictures I get sent, you know.
Well, they do. I mean, you can just design your own, isn't it? So whatever your preference is for a man or a woman, you can build it up, can't you?
Yes, you can, yeah. I mean, it's more of a sad indictment of how lonely people are feeling and how disconnected people are feeling from other real people, that becomes an attractive option.
I don't think I could disassociate myself from the fact that you're talking to a computer, not a real person.
You see, I could until it gets to the point, well, where's the cock? Yeah. Sorry, but that's what... Is anybody with me on that?
Yes, when you have to cross over from the virtual into the physical. And
exactly what happens then? You can't.
But people use it, like you say, because they're lonely. And also, I was reading up on the fact that what you can do now is if your loved one or your partner dies... then you can create a virtual version of themselves.
Oh, God, I don't like that.
And also, past relatives that have died.
I've seen Robin Williams' daughter this week has come out and said, stop doing AI of my dead father, please, because it's really fucking weird. Yeah. That's all a bit weird.
I was inundated with Michael Jackson AI.
Were you?
Yeah, but it's Michael Jackson in really bizarre, silly situations, and it was kind of making Michael Jackson likeable in situations like he's ordering something in a restaurant and it's really funny.
Right.
Or he's stopped by the cops for speeding and as he drives off, he's like, kind of vibe.
Okay.
But now it's transitioned from Michael Jackson into the Queen.
I've seen those, the Queen ones.
Yeah.
I thought it was an impersonator, but apparently it's AI.
It's all AI.
Can I do a fantastic segue?
Yes.
From Michael Jackson? Because Michael Jackson was a big fan of the topic of today's show.
Oh, really?
Huge fan. Wanted to meet him in the 70s and actually ended up meeting him in one of his later tours in like the late 80s or the early 90s. Because today we're talking about the Benny Hill Show. Yeah. What's your relationship with the Benny Hill Show?
Well, I adored the Benny Hill Show when I was a kid. I mean, because it ended kind of 89, 90, didn't it? So, but I mean, all the way through the early 80s. I really loved it. I loved Benny Hill. I loved everything about it.
Yeah.
It's great. It was like event TV when Benny Hill came on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What about you?
Me too. Yeah, it was just fantastic. My dad watched it. My mum wasn't so keen, I suspect, because by the time I was really watching it was the 80s and it was a little bit lascivious by that point. But I loved it. Loved the head slapping, loved the chase sequence. Loved it. It was great. And was a little bit apprehensive about going into today's episode.
Yeah, this show, the Benny Hill Show, seems ripe for the picking for the problematic gays, doesn't it?
Yes.
Because we all know what the modern opinion on Benny Hill is. So for me, when you suggested it, it felt like a fairly cut and dry case.
Yes.
This was going to be problematic when we watched it.
Yes.
We watched it from 1975, didn't we, an episode?
Yes.
So this was kind of like midway through its run because it started in the 50s.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go on to the minutiae later.
Yes.
But actually, I'm not going to say anything right now, but it's not so cut and dry.
No, it's not cut and dry at all. It's not cut and dry, and I was pleasantly surprised by this. So before we discuss that, should we cross over to the news desk, which is slightly different this episode, to look at some show business events of 1975?
I'll have to put a different sting on.
You will?
Yeah, a more twinkly, showbizy style.
Do it. Yes, because we've already looked at 1975 and a couple of our other episodes, the news, we thought we'd jazz hands it up a bit and look at some of the showbiz events happening in the UK this year. Why don't you kick us off, Dave?
Yeah, showbiz news, we're like the Ross King of the podcast world, aren't we? If anyone's been watching Strictly, by the point this goes out, Ross King will just be a distant memory.
Yeah, he's out already, isn't he?
He's out.
Thankfully.
Did you see him in his Thunderbird outfit?
It's disgraceful. I couldn't watch it. I had to fast forward it. I couldn't watch it.
I know, but I think it's always embarrassing when somebody goes out, the week they go out, they're dressed up like a proper clip.
Yeah, I mean, it was really hard to watch. I couldn't watch it. Yeah.
Who's your favourite at the moment in Strictly?
Obviously, I love Alex Kingston.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like Rhino from Gladiators.
Why is that then?
Because you know what it is? I like all the gladiators because they're not being gladiators is always really nice and I feel a bit kind of, I get more starstruck by a gladiator not being a gladiator than anybody else. It's like when they appear on Richard Osman's House of Games, I'm like, oh, look at the gladiator. They're quite nice normally, Anyway.
I like George Clark.
Who's he?
He's the YouTuber.
You see, I've just fast forward the young ones. I don't know who they are.
Oh, no, he's really good.
I
he's
know,
really
but
good. He's not George Clark from Channel 4's Renovations from your neck of the woods. That's one of my impressions.
Right.
It's not him.
That sounded like the guy who did the fake tapes from the Yorkshire Ripper.
My name is Jack.
Yeah.
You are no closer to finding me. Anyway, we're digressing.
Anywho, crashing on. Give us the first one, Dave.
Okay, I'll give you the first one. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen is released in October 1975. The song became a massive hit, a defining moment for the band and for UK rock.
Yes, indeed. I mean, what more can you say about Bohemian Rhapsody?
Fabulous, isn't it?
Scaramouche, Scaramouche.
Can you do the fandango?
Who can say?
Ross King can't.
Ross King certainly can't. Monty Python's Flying Circus ends. After a run of 45 episodes, the influential comedy sketch show concludes in 1975. Were you a fan?
No.
Nor me.
I'm sorry to say I wasn't a fan of Monty Python.
I couldn't really get it.
No, I mean, I like The Life of Brian, and I like the,
Holy Grail.
Holy Grail, but the actual sketch show, when I look back on it now, it's not one that rings true to me. You know, there were others at this time, like Some Others Do Have Them, The Good Life.
Yeah.
That kind of resonates more with me, and it was just a little bit too left field for my young person's sensibilities.
Yes, me too.
Okay, so it's the release of Slade in Flame. Sorry, I had to stop and reboot myself there.
Yeah,
don't know why. It's the release of Slade in Flame, a film featuring the rock band Slade about the music business. The film was a darker take than their usual image.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
And apparently, very well regarded.
Really?
Didn't do so much business at the time, but has since become regarded as one of the best movies about the music business.
Oh.
Features Slade, not playing themselves. They're playing a band called Flame, I believe is the premise of it. But the film is called Slade in Flame.
Right.
Go figure.
Okay.
It was 1975.
Yeah.
And it's apparently supposed to be very good.
Oh, I might have to dig it out and watch it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If we get time.
Yeah. 5 years down the line of the podcast, I've got nothing else to watch. Maybe then.
We're not Zimmer frames, or little wheelchairs, little commodes.
Do we have Slade with Flame?
Slade with Flame.
Anyway, the Royal Variety performance this year draws very large audiences of over 22 million viewers, underscoring the importance of the variety entertainment show. The headline act was Michael Crawford, performing material from Billy, which was Billy the Musical. Never heard of Billy the Musical?
Don't know who Billy was.
No, I don't know.
Do you? Billy. It's not Billy Holiday, is it?
Don't think so. Billy Holiday, a black woman.
Yeah, wouldn't be played by Michael Crawford, but he could have played somebody else. I'm not saying Michael Crawford plays Billy Holiday. But anyway, that just goes to show, the Royal Variety is still a big thing, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
Well, read the next one, love.
Yeah, absolutely. The new variety show called Seaside Special launched on BBC One in 1975, bringing big top entertainment and popular musical acts to seaside resorts across the UK.
That was a huge Saturday night thing, and all the big stars would be on that.
Yeah.
ABBA appeared on it. Boney M appeared on it.
Wow.
They'd get all the big uns in, and next to some Billy Smart circus shit with animals or jugglers and stuff, and then, go from one crashing thing to another crashing thing.
Yeah,
And it was huge.
It actually reminded me a little bit of what we watched about Benny Hill, because that struck me as being a bit of variety. And in fact, there is a sketch about variety in the Benny Hill show that we watched, but we'll go on to that later.
Yes. Some important British films of the year include Monty Python and the Holy Grail, a film called Pressure, which I'd never heard of, which was important because it was directed by Horace Ove, who was the first feature film by a black British director, and Tommy, adapted from The Who's rock opera.
Do you ever watch Tommy?
No, have you?
I haven't. I remember enjoying it when I was a kid.
Right.
Because it's all kind of, flash bang wallop, isn't it? It's like music and everything. And has it got Cher in it? Fact-checking department. I might cut that bit out. I'm not sure. Or is it Tina Turner? I'm not sure.
Fact-checking department.
I don't know. I think it's Tina Turner.
Should we have a look?
Yeah, do it. Sorry. We're not robots, gazers. We don't know everything. Some things just spring to us in the moment. I mean, we have been accused of not being well researched on this podcast.
How dare they?
Yeah.
Tommy the Who. Let's have a look. Tommy the Who movie featuring cast Tina Turner. Tina Turner is the Acid Queen.
There we go. I knew it was either Tina Turner or Cher.
Oh my God. Oliver Reed, Roger Daltrey, Elton John, Eric Clapton, John Entwistle, Paul Nicholas, Jack Nicholson, Robert Powell, Pete Townsend and Tina Turner.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
Huge.
Gosh.
Huge.
God, made for a budget of $3 million. That took $34 million at the box office. Wow.
Somebody got rich.
Somebody got rich. Well, who'd have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it?
But the most important piece of showbiz news for the end of the year is...
I'm really pleased. I feel very honoured that you're giving me this one to read out.
I've done it the other way around.
Yeah, I knew it was just...
Begrudge you this.
Yeah, exactly. Scylla reigns supreme. In 1975, Cilla Black starred in Cilla's Comedy 6, which was 6 sitcom plays, and was named Britain's top female comedy star by the Writers Guild of Great Britain.
Yeah. Have you ever seen any of Cilla's Comedy 6?
No, well, I can't say it's been indelibly imprinted on popular culture.
I watched one. I started to watch one. What a load of old shit, honestly. But anyway, it's nice to see Cilla, Cilla's move segueing from the music into the wider world of light entertainment in general.
So is she acting in a different play every week?
She's acting in a different play every week. Quite good, actually. Just the scripts are terrible.
Right.
Jolly good. Should we have a look at the top 20 of the music charts for this week?
Are we going to look at what else was on telly in 1975?
Let's do that first, then.
Yeah. I've only been doing this for 2 years now, and Lee still gets the order wrong every single episode.
Still get the order wrong. So let's have a look. What else was on TV? What the TV landscape was in 1975. There's some notable debuts for the year. The Good Life, which we know obviously was riffing on the ecological concerns which were becoming very big at the time. Self-sufficiency. Faulty Towers, which we discussed in one of our other episodes. Lauded as soon as it hits, critically acclaimed, comes back for a second series 4 years later. Jim will fix it. Begins in 1975 with renowned paedophile and horrible all-round man, Jimmy Savile.
Crashing on.
Angels, a soap opera about nurses.
Yes.
Julia Smith, I think.
Yes.
Possibly was connected to it.
Yes.
Pole Dark was huge. Cornwall.
1980s,
old
Cornwall.
Cornwall.
It's not the one that was popular years later with Aidan Turner with his shirt off.
Yes, but it was equally as popular back then. Space 1999 begins in 1975, or Space 1979, as I like to call it. And The Sweeney, which was a warts and all look at the flying squad. Sweeney Todd, get it? Mm-hmm. Which really kind of peeled the lid back off coppers being nice and lovely. Being horrible and rough.
Yeah, we should put the Sweeney on the list because I think that might be quite good, to explore masculinities in the mid-70s.
Absolutely.
Okay, so coming to an end in 1975 on TV was Upstairs, Downstairs.
Now, if you want, we talked about Downton Abbey the last episode.
Yes.
If you want an authentic look at history, Upstairs, Downstairs, as you want. So authentic, they used to show it in schools. One of their whole seasons is about the First World War, and they used to show it in schools because it was so well done. Downton Abbey, I tell you.
Downton Abbey went through the First World War.
Yeah, and they got it all. Do you know what? Let me tell you this, right? When the First World War was declared, in Downton Abbey, what's his name? What's his chops? The band, the Lord or whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, Britain has declared war. And everybody's very serious. The original reaction, everybody was screaming, cheering, and it was so wrong what they did. I was like, we'll not have that mentioned again in this room.
Yes. It'll be over by Christmas.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. Go in, kick their asses. Come on, we'll kick their asses.
And then Scarborough and Hartlepool and Whitby got bombarded.
Yeah, they did.
It's the first time that...
aerial bombardment.
Well, no, it was by ships. Battleships in the harbour. Yeah, they just kind of went up the coast. That was in December 1914, I think.
Wow.
Fact-checking department. And it was the first time that Britain's shores had been attacked by a foreign invader since 1066.
Gosh.
And that prompted the whole recruitment drive, conscription and everything, and got everybody in like gung-ho into the war and stuff.
Yeah.
Sent millions off to their death.
Yeah. Everything was gung-ho anyway. It was just a further affirmation.
Yeah.
Huge celebrations when we're going to war. Yes, bring it on. We're the empire, the sun never sets, all this kind of stuff. But anyway, yes, authentic history with Upstairs, Downstairs. Thank you.
Okay, I bow to you.
Thank you.
Okay, so also coming to an end, Till Death Us Do Part, which started in 1965. We've done an episode on that, haven't we?
We have done that.
One of our favourite ones, I think.
Really, very much so, surprisingly.
Yeah.
10 years. I mean, that was a long time for an old TV show. Up Pompeii, Frankie Howard, Roman spoof.
Yeah. And Watch with Mother, which started in 1952. That comes to an end. So still, that was only 23 years Watch with Mother was on.
Yeah.
But it seemed like everybody, our parents' generation.
Yes.
Was, do you remember Watch with Mother?
Yeah, it was Andy Pandy, Looby Loo.
Yes.
Continuing shows, other shows which carried on from the 1950s, The Good Old Days, which is just a weird Here we've got a show in which everybody dresses up in Victorian outfits and goes and sits in an old music hall and watches old music hall variety theatre, which is televised. So weird, isn't it? Dixon of Dock Green, which is a direct contrast to the Sweeney. Dixon is the old friendly PC plod, isn't he, that everybody loved and respected and thought he was a nice old man.
Yep.
And 1, 2, 3, Crackerjack.
Crackerjack.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Which continues until the 80s. That's still going on, so...
I remember Crackerjack.
So do I.
Yeah. Did that end?
No, not the 1980s.
Oh, it's continuing shows.
Yeah, this is continuing shows now.
Sorry.
Keep up.
But what I remember about Crackerjack, do you remember there was a game where however many toys you could physically hold in your arms, you could keep?
Yeah.
God, I used to covet that. I would so love to be on that.
Yeah.
And at the end, there were coloured envelopes. You could choose what prize you wanted out of what coloured envelope.
Right.
And I just remember the coloured envelopes being really exotic.
Well, yeah.
God, we were easily pleased as kids, weren't we?
Oh, God.
Stu Francis, I could jump over a doll's house.
Yeah, such a grape, etc.
Could duff a daffodil.
Yeah. Do you want to do some more?
Okay, so continuing shows from the 1960s, Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, well, this is Tom Baker's second season now.
Right.
And this season will get some of the highest ratings in the show's history consistently. Sarah Jane, Harry Sullivan,
Halcyon Days,
Daleks, Cybermen this year. I mean, it's a great season. Also, one of the episodes of this season of Doctor Who gets 16 million views, I think. Just incredible. I know that was the season before, so sorry. Fact-checking department. Not needed, actually, because old Doctor Who brain box knows.
Yes. Doctorpedia. No, that sounds wrong, doesn't it? Doctor Whopedia.
But let it go.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so that was Doctor Who from the 60s, and then continuing also is Z-Cars. Top of the Pops. I mean, kids these days will never get to experience Top of the Pops.
No, it's a real shame, isn't it? But then there isn't that whole top 40 thing anymore. No, there isn't that. God, the amount of records you have to shift to get into the top 40 in 1975, and it was incredible, isn't it?
Well, now it's all album tracks the minute someone releases an album. Oh, God, we sound like two old nanas today, don't we?
Two old nanas, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so then Dad's Army is continuing, Crossroads and Coronation Street.
And some shows from the 70s, The Goodies. Goody gumdrops. Love Thy Neighbour.
That's good. Assigned to the Dustbin of History is our very first episode that we did a pilot on and was deemed not worthy of broadcast.
Yeah, which is on Love Thy Neighbour.
Was on Love Thy Neighbour.
I think we should have a revisit of it.
Yes, I really think we should, now that we kind of know what we're doing. And we've won loads of awards / not won any awards.
Yes, yeah. Emmerdale, Last of Summer Wine, Porridge, That's Life.
Oh.
Rising Damp.
Yes, very good.
And It Ain't Half Hot Mum, which is possibly another one we need to think about.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. If you can hear that doggy barking, that's Fontaine.
That's Fontaine making a special guest appearance.
So that was what was on telly in 1975. Shall we have a look at the pop charts?
Yes. Now, following the farce that was last week and 2011...
for Game of Thrones.
Yes. Now, this is the chart for the 5th of January 1975. I suspect we're going to have a few Christmas ones floating around.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to be quite a good one.
Okay, very good.
Shall I go first?
Yes.
Number 20, Under My Thumb by Wayne Gibson. Passing on.
That peaked at number 20.
Good.
Okay, number 19, Crying Over You by Ken Booth.
Okay.
That peaked at number 19.
Oh, God, hang on. Help Me Make It Through the Night by John Holt.
Oh, number 17. Now, this is a bit of a mishmash. It's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, but it's not the Beatles, it's Elton John.
Good. 16 is Stardust by David Essex. Your friend David Essex.
My friend.
Blue Eyes.
Friend of the pod.
Blue Eyes himself.
Oh, David. That'll be easy to remember.
David Essex.
Yeah, David Essex. Number 15, Are You Ready to Rock, Wizard?
I've just seen the title of number 14.
Oh, no.
Which is, are you ready?
You've got that one.
Are you ready? You can make me dance, sing or anything, even take the dog for a walk, mend a fuse, fold away the ironing board or any other domestic shortcomings by Rod Stewart and the Faces.
They're trying to be clever with that one, aren't they? Trying to take the piss out of all the DJs who'd have to say that. At number 13, My Boy, Elvis Presley. I wonder who his boy was.
Yeah, maybe his brother.
Or maybe
his
little twin brother.
Yeah. Number 12, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet Bachman Turner Overdrive. First one I really know.
First classic.
Yeah.
Number 11, the in-between is Father Christmas Does Not Touch Me. By the Goodies.
Okay.
With comedic overtones there.
Yeah. Number 10, Jukebox Jive by the Rubettes.
No. Number 9, I Can Help. That's what I say to you every week, isn't it?
It is.
By Billy Swan.
To which I reply, Get Dancing by Discotheques and the Sexolettes. That's at number 8. Wow,
Okay.
This is rubbish.
Yeah, number 7, Miss Grace by Times. That's Times as in time in your garden.
No, it's not. It's Tymes. Time in your garden's got an H in it.
Oh, all right.
I thought you were a gardener.
All
Did you do
right.
that course at the Royal Horticultural Society?
Yeah. Do you know my certificate?
What?
When I did my RHS, Practical Horticulture,
Yes.
was signed off, my certificate, by Mr. Keith Weed.
No way.
Yeah, WEED. That's the chairman of the RHS.
Right. Well, that's a bit of nominative determinism, isn't it?
Is it? It's easy for you to say.
Not really. Number 6, classic, Never Can Say Goodbye, Gloria Gaynor. We'll have that one.
Fabulous. So we're approaching Christmas now, or are we the other side of
The
Christmas?
other side of Christmas, 5th of January, aren't we?
Okay, fine. So, number 5, Wombling Merry Christmas by the Wombles.
Number 4 is The Bump by Kenny.
Number 3, Down Down, Status Quo. Love a bit of Quo on this pod, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Now, I've just realised that all the time we look at a peak, we're reading it wrong because that's the peak of this song so far. Because next week, I know for a fact Down Down's going to be number 1.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a note for our future reference. So when we say it peaks at this number, doesn't mean that.
Let's cut that bit out so no one knows that we've made a little chart faux pas there.
Number 2, have you seen The Old Man on the Streets of London by Ralph McTell?
Well, I did today.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, do you remember that? You had to sing that at school and everything.
I did. When I got a keyboard for Christmas once, that was one of the songs I learnt how to play. How can you tell me you're lonely?
And it's just so downbeat
Really?
and sad and
Yeah.
about sad things. Why do they make us sing it at school? And why?
It's no Rosie and Jim, is it?
It's no Rosie and Jim. It's no Banana Man.
Tell us what number. Did you do Banana Man? Ralph McTell?
No.
Oh,
Why did he do Rosie and
I
Jim?
think so, yeah.
Okay.
Fact check.
We've taken a turn, haven't we? Ralph McTell wrote Rosie and Jim.
I'm sure he did.
Rosie and Jim.
Rosie and Jim. Ralph McTell. Let's have a little look. Keep talking amongst yourself. Keep the crowd entertained, Don. Keep the crowd entertained.
Rosie and Jim. Rosie and
Not
Jim.
just do that. Don't just do that.
What else am I supposed to talk about?
Ralph McTell.
Okay.
No, he did not write the song Rosie and Jim.
Well, that was well worth the wait, that was.
In fact, there's no known connection between Ralph and Fair enough. Okay, so what else number 1 is?
This is the fact-checking department in action in real time.
Wow.
Yeah, well done. Okay, number 1 is Lonely This Christmas by Mud.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we've all sang that with
We
a
have.
glass of Baileys in our hand at 2 in the morning.
We have.
Aye.
Well, I mean, that was a bit shit, wasn't it?
It was a bit shit. I mean, there were a couple of Stone Cold classics in there, namely Gloria Gaynor.
Yeah.
But apart from that, the rest of it, it's just like a
bit
post-Christmas slump.
Yeah, it was.
January
You can
1975.
just feel the slump in it, can't you?
Yes.
Yeah, no one's really bothered.
Yeah.
No one's buying singles.
No.
In a minute. You know,
Well, they've
let's
spent
do a
up.
record token. Yeah.
Wow. Must try harder.
Must try harder. To the matter in hand, would you like to give us a bit of information about the Benny Hill show?
About the what?
The Benny Hill show.
Okay, so the Benny Hill show is a British... Oh, my God. Sorry. Well, I did stop there because you were backwards and forwards in your leather chair making fart noises.
Wasn't the chair, love.
Spoiling my intro. That's why I slipped up on my intro. Okay, so The Benny Hill Show is a British comedy television show starring Benny Hill that aired on the BBC and ITV between 1955 and 1989. That's some going, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the show consisted mainly of sketches typified by slapstick, mime, parody and double entendre. At its peak, The Benny Hill Show was among the most watched programmes in the UK, with the audience reaching more than 21 million viewers in 1971. In 1972, Benny Hill received a BAFTA award for Best Writer, and he also won an Emmy Award because once Thames TV took over the show, an edited version of gained cult following in the United States. Benny Hill also received a Rose door. Right. And then in 1989, Thames cancelled the production of the Benny Hill show in the face of declining ratings and increased production costs at £450,000, the equivalent of $1.5 million in 2023 per show.
Wow, gosh. And you said it was run from 1955. I think the first 18 years it's on BBC, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And then moves over to ITV, which is when we get the proper Benny Hill show.
Yes.
Because ITV give him much more free reign to be the Benny Hill show that we know and love today. But that's a long time.
That's a long time. And I think it just goes to show, as we'll discuss, what a talent Benny Hill was.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't know about you, but I think we both went into this expecting, oh my God. And within the first 30 seconds of this episode, which we will link to, there is a joke at the expense of Irish people and a woman gets her skirt ripped off. And you think, this is going to be absolutely everything I expected, you know. Yeah. However, what I got was often very funny, lots of really great drag. Some sketches went on too long, and you know, some of it had aged really badly. Not as salacious as I thought it was going to be, and actually just amazingly performed. Yeah. What a talent Benny Hill had.
He was at the peak of his powers here. This is when the ratings were kind of peaking at the 20 million mark. And I have to say, okay, yes, we will talk about some problematic elements of it. In particular, one massive problematic element, which kind of occurred halfway through, and we both kind of went, oh, this has really let it down. But we'll talk about that. But fundamentally, Benny Hill was an amazing writer. Amazing songwriter, amazing, as you said, performer, amazing impressionist. There was a sketch where he did impressions of famous people. Yeah. Just amazing. Hugely, hugely talented man. I mean, I'd take my hat off to him. You know, to sustain a TV show from 1955 to 1989, 90 in various different formats just proved what an amazing talent he was. And
yes.
Funny.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, such a funny man, just visually. You know, you could create these characters, extreme characters in caricature almost, but so hugely versatile, and that's no mean feat to pull off.
Absolutely. And so this episode is divided into four vignettes, aren't they? There's the song at the beginning, which is an American character who's singing a song about some Polynesian island where the women are very fat. Okay, this is a lot of this. This is very poor and would not be done today. And there's a lot of fat jokes. Basically, there's a bit which is a bit distasteful when he's talking about his own wife, and he basically makes a visual gag about punching her in the face, which was a little okay, but it just situates this very much in when this is being made
in 1975.
Definitely problematic. End of. But what's quite clever is he tells this song, which says, "Don't worry, it's got 4 verses," and each time he finishes a verse, a lady comes out. Luckily, I mean, she's supposed to be Polynesian, I guess.
Yeah.
There's no attempt to give her any kind of yellow face at all.
No, she's a white lady, isn't she?
White lady, yeah. But she takes a piece of clothes off. So there's quite a neat little tension comes to her. She disappears back into this mud hut, basically, comes out at the end of each verse and takes something off. And that's fairly innocuous. It's quite amusing, it's quite witty, but it's a bit titillating, you know. But nothing we haven't already seen in 1975, and nothing which an audience would not be thinking, okay, this is normal.
Yeah, to me, it was a little bit of saucy fun. What you would class in 1975 was a little bit saucy. This lady was a bit scantily classed. It wasn't gratuitous.
No. And also, the denouement of the song is that his keyboard blows up. And the pair of them are corpsing. They're laughing and they can't stop laughing at each other. And it's the first instance we get in this episode of people coming out of the sketch and laughing. And it's funny, isn't it? When people are corpsing, that's funny. And it happens a couple of times in this. Yeah. I think that's the convention of the time, though, because I think there's an episode of Sykes with Hattie Jakes where they're doing the same kind of thing. Bruce Forsyth used to do it professionally. Yes. He'd pretend to almost be laughing, but of course he wasn't. But,
and fast forward to something like Miranda.
Yes.
You know, like looking at the camera, it's inviting the audience in, it's involving the audience, because Benny Hill was obviously filmed, at this point, was filmed before a live studio audience.
Yes.
So there's a sketch later on where he's mugging the audience at the end of every gag, isn't he? And then he kind of gives a side glimpse to the camera as well. It's a skill to be able to do that.
Very much so.
Because it pulls you in, doesn't it? It makes you part of the gag.
Very much so, very much so. Yeah. And the reason he's called Benny Hill is because he was a big fan of Jack Benny, who was an American comedian who used to do exactly this kind of thing. And Jack Benny would always go wrong for him. So then he'd be interacting with the audience like, oh my God, what's happened, you know? So it's clearly one of his influences. And then the next vignette is a period drama.
It's called The Man and His Music, and it starts off as kind of like a silent film, doesn't it? You know, very much the visual gags, the slapstick element.
Yeah.
It was kind of the life of a guy called Gavin, and it starts off with his father, who was a servant for an upper-class family.
Yeah.
And then Gavin's born, and it sees his life throughout his childhood and into the army and beyond.
First World War,
First World War.
Slapstick, I think, worked really well in this, And of course, it's that cranked up speed, isn't it, that just gives it just that kind of 1920s vibe. But it was just funny.
Yeah.
I did find myself laughing aloud about a lot of this stuff in here. And this is when we get our first slapping the bald man, little bald man, Jackie Wright.
He was a short, bald man, and he was the butt of a lot of jokes in the Benny Hill sketches, wasn't it? But it's obviously he was hugely affectionate of this actor, Jack Wright, because he carried him with him all the way throughout his, well, certainly the latter years of the Benny Hill show.
Yes.
And you watch him and you immediately know when he comes into a scene, he's going to be
slapped.
He's going to be slapped on his head.
Yes.
And there was a couple of other actors. I mean, there was some, we were debating, weren't we? There's some actresses who Benny Hill takes along with him. But it feels to me as though it's the men that you remember the most.
Yeah, because there's the three men in this one. So there's Henry McGee, I can't remember the other guy's name, but you'll recognise them. Yes,
Bob Todd.
Yeah, whenever you see them, you're right, it's the men you remember, even though he had his rep company.
Yes.
Which I also thought was really lovely of him. He brings his performers with him all the way through. And this is the first time we see Benny in drag. He's really good at drag.
He's great.
He does two different drag characters in this little section. Incidentally, fluent in French and could speak German, Spanish and Italian as well. And I just thought his drag was really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
It was great because what we say, you know, he's a character actor.
Yeah.
So if you appear in drag, if you've put a dress on and you're just kind of hamming it up for the camera, it's a little bit naff.
Yes.
But he just digs into a character and he does it completely straight.
Yeah.
Basically, he's just playing a woman.
Yeah.
And it's really effective.
Really effective, really good. And I'm sure that George Lucas and Steven Spielberg must have watched this, because there's a sequence in Indiana Jones which is a direct copy of something that happens in this story. Yeah. So in this story, you get he's challenged to a duel, a sword fighting duel. Yeah. And Henry McGee's standing there doing all the fancy pants stuff, you know, swinging the sword around, bending back and forward, doing all these acrobatics. And Benny Hill just takes a gun out and shoots him. Yeah. In the same way that happens in Indiana Jones, the first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark, guy with the sword, and he just shoots him straight down. I thought, bloody hell, that's copied.
Yes.
You know, they must have seen this and watched it.
Yeah, it was really funny. There was real slapstick elements to it. There was like comments on class about it. There was a shotgun wedding in it.
We get a woman's bending over and her boobs, and that gets a claw. Yeah. And we get the naughty nurse appearing at the end. Yeah. We see them in Grace Brothers. We've seen them in I Being Served. What we watched. You know, the naughty nurse and boobs.
Again, saucy seaside postcard humour here.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of... you know, the gay representation, you know, Gavin was kind of presented as a little bit fey in this. And we watched a scene from a future Benny Hill sketch, didn't we? Where the being gay was very much the butt of the joke.
Yes, yeah.
And I felt there was a little bit of mincing to denote a weaker type of character.
The mincing is so common at the time. Mr. Humphreys, Larry Graceman, that is a gay character.
Yeah.
And that one we watched, the chase sequence, is just those gay characters writ large, isn't it? Then we get a musical number, randomly, thrown in the middle. That's when you put the kettle on.
Yes, but no, that was funny because that was a woman called Lee Gibson.
Yeah.
And I just thought she was fabulous.
She's great.
Yeah,
She's really good.
Yeah, so talking about variety, in the middle of this, they just put Lee Gibson in, singing this kind of musical interlude. It was like a jazz belter, wasn't it? She was great for it. She reminded me very much of Elkie Brooks, in a way.
And she does a lot. She's another regular and goes on to lots of other shows at the time. So there's kind of a roster of those variety acts that often appear on things like 3-2-1 as well. They never quite get to the big league.
We can see they're probably plucked from working men's clubs.
They're from the clubs.
Yeah, but I thought she had a fabulous frock on.
Yes.
And she busted some really funky moves.
Yes, she did.
So she held her own.
She did, held her own.
Yeah.
So then we get the next vignette, which is Long Dry Summer, which is based on the Paul Newman, Joanne Woodward film Long Hot Summer, inspired by Tennessee Williams' Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Right.
Benny's in drag again as Sissy, a Southern Belle. It's fucking great.
It's great. She is. I'm saying she because she's a woman, basically. Benny Hill plays a woman. She's in drag. Basically, it's set in the Deep South, and Benny Hill's character plays like this young ingenue. It reminded me very much of, in The Golden Girls, you know, Blanche.
Yes.
This reminds me when she tells her tale of being in the Confederate South,
yes.
the young Southern belle who has questionable morals, has a lot of gentleman callers.
Yes.
It was very much in that vein of a young Blanche Devereaux, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much, yeah. We do get a bit of blacking up here, don't we?
This was the moment where we both went, oh shit, it's just spoilt it all now.
Yeah, you can't. Because there's a servant who is a white actor blacked up. But we'll say again, this is the point in time when the Black and White Minstrel Show is one of the biggest shows on BBC television and one of the biggest selling musical acts, in which is white performers black up as black performers and imitate old style southern black slaves, basically, and obviously has since been deemed deeply offensive for very good reason, but was par for the course in the mid-70s.
It was a gag, wasn't it? It was a cheap gag.
And you know, I just found out recently that Lenny Henry actually used to appear with the Black and White Minstrel Show.
Really?
At the very beginning of his career, and was accused of selling out by the black community, and he said it's the only way he could get on TV.
Right.
So that's not to excuse it at all, but to give a bit of context, that this was a very common thing to see on British television at the time. So there is this stereotyping of the Negro slave trope, basically.
Yeah. And it's not just limited to that on TV at this time, is it? I mean, there's the Talons of Wang Chian.
Yes, the Doctor Who. That's 2 years later. Yeah. That's because that's full of yellow face, you know. It's one of those things, unfortunately. Thankfully, the character's only on screen for a couple of seconds, really.
Yeah. And that put aside, it's a superbly written sketch, isn't it? There's a mixture of the visual gags and the dialogue gags as well. It's just amazingly well written. Yes. Went on a little bit too long for my liking, but...
Yes, as did the next little sequence, which was a take on New Faces. It's called Newer Faces.
Yeah.
And Benny plays a family called the Versatile Bentwoods. So we have a variety show, basically, them doing little acts. This was the weakest section for me, although his impressions at the end were fantastic, you know.
Yeah, he did impressions of the judges, you know, who were obviously quite famous at the time. Think X Factor judges, but in the 1970s. One in particular which stood out for me was he did an impression and he was dressed up as Tony Hatch, who obviously we know wrote the theme tune to Crossroads. And Neighbours, amongst other things. But that was great. What I really liked about this sketch, I mean, we talked about variety halls and stuff. It was like a troupe of performance. You had ventriloquism, you had balloon modelling, you had knife throwing, and they all came on and did their little sketch and everything, and there was lots of little gags dotted through it. But that's a really intricate act. That is being rehearsed within an inch of its life, and it went on for about 5 whole minutes. People coming on and off camera, on and off stage and everything, and it looks quite frivolous and easy, but to make it look easy, you've got to just properly rehearse that. Exquisitely performed. Yes, it's good, not particularly problematic, you know. And that was it. Now, I think one of the things we were pleasantly surprised at is how little jiggle action there was in this show, because actually that doesn't really happen until the 80s when the introduction of Hill's Angels. So we've still got no Hill's Angels here. Hill's Angels are introduced about the same time as that Kenny Everett's got Hot Gossip on his show. So again, we've talked about how the 80s was such a pushback against the feminism of the 70s. And so the representations and objectification of women in the 80s just, again, hits overdrive. This is when page 3 girls become huge. This is when the girls are in stocking suspenders. It gets very overtly sexual, doesn't it? So you're saying this was a rejection of the height of the feminist movement? Well, I think it wasn't something as overtly such, but I can imagine there's a certain type of bloke who's in charge of commissioning programmes or who's in creative control who's thinking, well, fuck you girls, let's have more boobs and arse, you know, and push back against this, you know. What struck me, without doing any kind of proper research into the Benny Hill show and the ratings, but obviously the ratings were on decline, and it felt like during the 80s Benny Hill, although still popular, wasn't as popular as in his heyday during the 70s with the ratings and everything. So it kind of struck me as, were the Hill's Angels and the overtly stockings and suspenders clad women chasing him in the big yakety sax sequence at the end, was that something put in to grab ratings?
I don't know if it would be, not in the early 80s, because the early 80s is still riding high. And as I said, the cultural landscape, that was what was expected. Hot Gossip come in and they just revolutionise. They make Legs and Co. look staged, and that's not a response to something. That's just the way the culture of that is going. They're considered very risque and really kind of pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable in terms of erotic dancing on the telly.
Right.
So I think it just becomes, again, part of that cultural landscape in which pastry girls are big celebrities. I think it starts to decline for Benny mid to late 80s. I mean, his show gets axed in 89, but certainly we watched a couple of the 80s ones, chase sequences, and it's looking a little bit icky. By now he's clearly an older man being poured or pawing much younger girls, and that just looks a little bit
inappropriate.
Yeah. I mean,
but also, I suppose, I know you're saying it's in response to something, and that's what the limits of taste were in the 80s, but it can't have hurt the ratings for the men to tune in, knowing that when you're going to watch Benny Hill, you're going to see women in suspenders and boobs jiggling around.
Well, it's like Doctor Who. And the producer in the 80s was like, get the dads on the sofas, what the companions always had miniskirts on for. As far as he was concerned, that's what Doctor Who companions did. That was their job, to get the dads watching. So, yeah, Benny Hill's an interesting character. He's kind of strangely asexual. I mean, I think he proposes 3 times in his life and is turned down by each of these women, but never has a girlfriend or, lives a very frugal life, never owns a house.
Yeah. Died on his own, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It just feels 26 million in the bank, today's standards, today's money, 26 million in the bank, but never spent it. Would go on holiday in France and would stay in the cheapest hotels, would never get a taxi, would walk miles rather than get a taxi, would never spend any money or anything, would laugh off accusations of being gay.
Right.
And I just think he think he wasn't interested.
Well, maybe he wasn't.
No.
I mean, he maybe put the A in LGBTQIA.
Maybe he did.
Yeah. Who knows? Anyway, it's not for us to delve into his personal life, really. But I mean, look, if we want to start concluding this, I'd say problematic. Yes. The blackface. Slight objectification of women, if there is such a thing as a slight objectification of women. Yeah. But like I said before, it's saucy seaside humour at this point. I mean, we can't all just not have anything sexual in a TV show.
Yes.
But brilliantly written, brilliantly acted and performed. Entertaining and still funny. It was not like you had to force yourself to laugh at this. It was a funny show. Yeah,
I completely agree with you. On that note, I will give it... What will I give it out of? I'm going to give it 7 head slaps out of 10.
I will give it 7 balloon animals out of 10.
Right. Yes. Fair enough, I think.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I do. I mean, it was very, very much of its time.
Yeah, very much of its time. Yeah, but surprisingly okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, compared to some of the things we've watched.
Really?
Yes. I mean, we can't forgive the blackface, or can we forgive the blackface because that was what was going on all around at the time. It's not for us to say whether we forgive a show or not.
I think we can say shit though.
Yeah,
we could
to highlight it.
Yeah, it's not. I don't. It's the case of whether we need to forgive it or not, but we acknowledge that it's crap. Yeah, it's really rubbish. Don't do it, anybody.
No.
So yeah, right. Well, that was Benny Hill.
Pleasant
surprise. Pleasantly
surprised at Benny Hill.
And I don't feel like my childhood's been trampled on too much.
No.
So, with all that being said, next week is spooky season, Dave. It's Halloween.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you a special treat.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You're not going to make me shit my pants again like you did last year with Ghostwatch.
But you need to get your rucksack out, love.
Oh, yeah.
Get your bag packed, get your sleeping bag ready, because we're off to Sleepaway Camp.
Oh.
From 1983. It's on YouTube. Urge you to watch it before you get spoiled at the end. Because
get soiled at the end.
Yes. Because we will be spoilering it next week. And if you haven't seen it, the ending is one of the most shocking in horror film history.
Okay. Yeah. Now, just so I can be forewarned a little bit, there's nothing of the occult in it, is there?
No.
Like
It's
the
a
Exorcist.
slasher. It's a slasher.
It's a slasher. I can do slashers.
Yeah.
I was born and raised on slashers.
Yeah, it's a classic 83 slasher.
Fine.
Yeah.
'Cause my brother used to babysit us when we were kids. Used to let us watch these slasher movies from the 80s, you know, like the Nightmare on Elm Street, the Evil Dead, and all that. And then we used to play hide and seek in the dark.
Yeah, that would freak you
So
out.
I can do slashers.
Yes.
It's more jump scary,
Paranormal.
stuff
Yeah.
I can't handle.
He's not good with a ghost.
I'm not good with a ghost.
Yeah. So look forward to that.
Yes, that's great.
Get your sleeping bag ready.
Yes,
yeah,
I will.
Have fun with this one.
Fabulous.
Right, I'm off to chase a couple of scanty-clad women around a field at high speed. What are you doing, darling?
Well, I think I'm off to probably find a nice plant placed behind us just for a little bit of depth in this shot. For next time I visit PG Towers.
Right.
But then after that, I'm going to hotfoot it back up to PG Manor and put the heating on because it's bloody freezing.
Well, that was a nice Benny Hill theme thing you're going to do, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, what I mean to Benny Hill for? I'm gonna lie in bed and watch a scantily clad naughty nurse give me a bed bath.
There we go. That's much better.
Yeah.
Until next time, gazers.
Or reservoir.
Au reservoir.